Hi all, AD here. I'm with Saul today.
Hello.
From Home St John's. So we're at St Margaret's Church here in Ockley in Surrey. It's got a very interesting past because it's got links to the USA, and I'll tell you more as we go around. So join us, let's go and explore. There's been a church here since the 1300s, although this bell tower here was added in the 1700s. And what's really interesting about this is that there's some graffiti on here from the workmen. So they've put their names, etched them into this bell tower. If you can see that one. And I'm not sure what that part is there. Do you reckon that's a repair?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a repair. So there's those two bits of graffiti, and I believe there's another one over here. Though that's not quite as clear. Yeah, I think that's quite fun, don't you?
Yeah.
That they've etched their names in there from 1700. So that's the new bell tower. And the porch up here is so pretty. Some old tombs there. And if I'm walking on anybody's grave, I apologise. I don't mean any disrespect. So this beautiful porch and its timbers are from the 1600s, which is remarkable. And I believe that some of the windows down here in this old part are still there from the 1300s. Maybe it's that small one there. I couldn't really find out that much information, but it's absolutely lovely. And there's some information there. They've got bats here, which is not unusual. Yeah, look at this. Look at that roof. So it's 1803, 1835, 1904, 1914, 1906, 1908. That looks lovely with all the flowers. And then this is where they need to do repairs. So they're saying if anyone wants to sponsor and buy an item to do repairs, that's how much it is. And there's the church from 1824. St Margaret's has been a place of worship for over 700 years. In 1291, St Margaret's, the parish record showed that it was in regular use and very well established. But the original building actually collapsed in the early 1300s. It was rebuilt in 1336 and it was dedicated to the Bishop of Winchester. In 1590, that lovely porch that we came in was built, and in 1616, Nicholas Culpeper, if you recognise that name, Nicholas Culpeper, who later became a famous herbalist, was baptised here, and he was the son of the rector of Ockley at the time. In 1700, that tower, which is over here, this is the inside of that tower, it was rebuilt, replacing the previous spire that was there. The old bells were recast by the Whitechapel foundry to create a magnificent peal of 6 bells which are still regularly rang today. The most unique thing about this church, that I couldn't believe this when I found out, it's just amazing. You go past these places all the time and they're so drenched in history. Reverend Henry Whitfield, this is the really interesting story about this place. He was the rector of Ockley during some very difficult times under the reign of Charles I. Now, Henry had many strong Puritan beliefs, and he resisted attempts by the Church of England to impose uniform high worship. In 1638, he led a party of like-minded people from Ockley and other parts of the country to North America so that they were free to worship in the way that they wished. Here are a list of all those people who went to America. So the board was erected in 1977 by a descendant of Henry Whitfield to commemorate this historic event. So there's a really interesting visitors book over here because there's people that come from all over the world to find their relatives. Let me show you. Look. So there's people there from Australia. And look, beautiful church. Yeah, people come from all over the world. But the most extraordinary thing about this church is that the bell here, called the tenor bell, a replica was made of it. So they used exactly the same cast for the bell that was from here. It was cast in Whitechapel. It was sent to America in 1752, and it's now called the Liberty Bell. Yes, so that is the Liberty Bell that was rung when they signed the Declaration of Independence. So how extraordinary is that, to think that from this tiny little church, village church in the middle of the countryside in Surrey, from that came the Liberty Bell. Really, really interesting. Picture here behind the altar was installed in 1872 by an artist called Harry Burrow, and it's the Last Supper. It's a form of mosaic work called opus sectile, i.e. the materials cut into larger shapes to fit together, and it's more like a jigsaw because, like a mosaic, is made up of uniform small pieces. But there's also some lovely work over here. There's a Bible here. I'm not sure if you can see it from the glare, but Ockley Church, and it's from 1841. What's the book on the other side? Does it say on the cover? Maybe it's a hymn book or something. This ancient square window is a surviving part of the early church, and it actually contains fragments of glass dated, believe it or not, from 1320. That's unbelievable, but it is to me. Wow. The pointed window next to it, I'm assuming this one, is also said to contain some of these fragments. In medieval times, water for baptism was blessed on Easter Day, and it was left there for later use. So the font covers were there to keep out the dust and the dirt, and were often locked to prevent the holy water being stolen for superstitious practices or for witchcraft. Never knew that. I love it when they do this. They've got a whole list of the rectors of Ockley, starting in 1308, and they go all through the years. As you can see, many of them were there for quite a long time. The longest one actually was Reverend John Cook, who was here for 48 years. The Reverend Nicholas Culpepper was only here for a year. Can you see that? And he was the father of the famous herbalist. And he was baptised here on the 24th of October 1616, just 3 weeks after his father had died. Down here, which I showed you the outside of at the beginning, was actually built in 1700 to replace the earlier steeple. The original accounts show it cost £693.16 3D, and it included payments for the beer for the stonemasons. Maybe that's why they were a bit drunk and they decided to do a bit of graffiti. Plaques high up on the wall above, the ones up here. We were actually wondering about these before, and now I have found the answer. So these plaques above the tower arch actually show the initials, the names of church wardens and benefactors who paid for the tower to be built. It was quite creepy here, isn't it? Just saying, imagine a hand came out of one of these old graves, so I have to be very careful here. A lot of them though you can't, unfortunately, they've succumbed to the hands of time. And you can't read them anymore, unfortunately. I've never come over here. So we found this like secluded little bit. Wow. Look at these. How extraordinary. So these are hidden right at the back of the graveyard. That's interesting, isn't it? Ah, oh look at that bit, that's all sunken down there, be careful. So this was the family from the area. So the family vault of Lee Steer of Jayswotton, Surrey, 1832. So that's why they're so grand. Although look, just be careful. Oh, this is creepy. You can no longer see on this one. I can't really read it. Can you see anything?
Go on this.
Yeah, I don't know if it's another of the Steer family that's over there.
Nah.
Might be another one. And there's another tomb here. I don't think we can really get over there.
That one's all readable.
Can you see what it says? It's a shame because they're just going to get totally ravaged. can't read that. Yeah, some old tombs. I think there's even more graves over the back there.
Probably is.
Oh,
It feels like that sort of area where you have...
I feel like I'm in a horror movie now.
Wait for the hand to come.
Yeah, waiting for... I always think that though. I always think it's going to be a hand. Been in here a few times, but I never knew all this was back here. I mean, look how overgrown it is. It's really sad. And they're the ones we can still see. Fuck me. Did you just see something?
I saw something, I don't know what it was.
Like there?
I saw something, I don't know, I've got no idea what it was. I saw something go like that.
That's exactly what I saw. Oh my God, I don't know if the camera picked that up. That was something. Seriously guys, we've both just seen something. I didn't come here with that intention. I've come here to explore the church. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting when we watch this back, isn't it?
I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued because I'm telling you now, I just saw like something like white.
Yeah. I don't know what it was.
Neither did I, and I was like, what? Yeah, it's really, really strange. I bet you there's more graves even over the back there, guys. There's got to be.
I reckon there's some over there.
You reckon? Yeah, there probably is some. We might go over there. It's quite uneven underfoot, as you can see how underground. You can see how overgrown it is. Honestly, that's really spooked me. It just walked, whatever that was, walked out from there. It's really spooky. That was really, really creepy. I can't explain what happened. It's a shame it's so overgrown because many people come here to seek out where their ancestors were baptised. Lots of their ancestors were married or buried here, and some of them are direct descendants of the people who sailed across in 1638 to North America or to Canada or New Zealand, and some of them left as late as the 19th century. So they get loads of visitors from all over the world, and the parish archivist from Ockley is more than willing to help any family history inquiries, which I think is lovely, but this bit is going to be lost soon. So you know this is really old, this church, when it's still got the steps, because people would have arrived by horse and carriage. So guys, we hope you found that interesting. I thought it was fascinating, the links to the Liberty Bell and all that, and then finding that extra bit of graveyard over the back was quite extraordinary. You just never know what's right under your nose, do you?
No.
The amount of times I've gone past here. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate each and every one of you that watches. So we're new to YouTube, so it's all a big learning curve for us. So thank you and have a great day.